Iraqi food, it's all celebratory. Breakfast during the weekend is so special. Sometimes when I cook something special on a weekend for breakfast, it does remind me of home. When I arrived to the US, I think all the trauma hit me, and I felt like, hey, this is a long way. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see my family again. What did we done wrong? Why we are here? And I remember I started crying at the New York airport. After we came to Florida, things wasn't easy. There were good intention, but people didn't know how to advise us. It was new for even the community, for some communities. Refugee resettlement agencies, who was in that time Lutheran Social Services, the ones who helped us through the resettlement process. But we are here 3 months and we need to be by our own. Like, we need to find jobs, we need to settle, we need to take care of our family. 3 months, and after that you are on your own. And that's what happened to us too. And back then we were lost. I went and bought some rice, coming back home, cooking it. Why it doesn't taste the same? What's wrong? Is it me? I don't know how to cook it. Is it the stove? It was a problem to me. I'm like, why I don't know even how to cook the rice here? And after a while, I start finding that there are different type of rice, and every type have to be cooked differently. So it was even like with the taste of the food, it was so different.
The rice I am using is Valencia short grain rice.
In the end of 2019, I decided to co-found Weavetails. We pretty much focus on collecting refugees and immigrants' story and share it in different platforms. And one of the platform actually was through a partnership with many organizations to come up with, actually it was a 3-segment project, but the second segment is the Hardy Table. So we found a unique way to share a story through the food and recipe that refugees and immigrants cook in their new home.
And I planted a Menorcan datil pepper, and I felt then that this was my home.
I always also try through Florida Immigrant Coalition and We Are All American, many other organizations, to engage and reach out to people who never know about us, to share this story. Now, the way we share stories with these people is so much different than a person who now already in contact with us and know our stories. And I think that's why Hardy Table will bring people who never heard about a refugee from Eritrea, like the story we had with Leah, and start asking questions, making friends, because maybe they are curious about the food first. And then through this curiosity, these relationship and friendships start. We want people to start conversation like this and encouraging it, and not just to stop by the food we eat.
We don't realize how much our food behavior is cultural. When we're children, we're interacting with adults and learning how to consume meals and what to eat. So we learn a huge amount of information just by being a member of your own culture, and you do that every day. Even though across the globe, there's this huge range of foods, if you look at every culture, within that, almost all of them have a pretty narrow subset of what they find acceptable. But I think ultimately at its core, the foods are very similar, and so we're modifying them within cultural constraints that sort of tell others who we are and tell ourselves that this is who we are.
I kind of joke that food touches everything, because everything does relate in some way. I mean, it's part of our identities because it's physical and symbolic at the same time. Talk about food as identity, as bringing people together in community and, breaking bread and meeting around the table and all of these expressions about how food brings people together, getting people to really see each other's humanity through cooking and eating together. But if we're talking about boundaries, we're talking about insiders and outsiders, and food has been and can also be used to keep people apart and to push people further apart. I mean, think about, for example, cases in France about halal meat. France has made policies that, public schools in France must serve pork. Well, who does that alienate? Quite a large and growing population. To the degree of, well, what does it mean to be French? are these categories, these national identities, these national categories open and inviting and fluid, or are they hard? I would hope that people continue to use food to reach out to others and to connect with others.
That's amazing.
We'll see.
How it tastes?
When I came to the U.S., one of the first thing I did is learning about other religions. Like, I am not, by learning about other religion or sitting with other people who practice another religion, not going to make me not practicing Islam right. It's the opposite. I learned more about Islam through learning about other religion. So I think that fear of the others, it's the problem. How we break that fear? By coming together and eat and learn about the dish, or by learning about a piece of art. So it's more about bringing people together through creative way to connect more, because that's the main point. If we connect, if we become neighbors, we're gonna defend each other, and that's what we really need now.